The very good news is that this is the last video on variables and expressions, which for some of you means that you are at the end of learning about variables and expressions. Hopefully you've been doing enough work to get most of the questions right. Typically the way algebra works, it starts out kind of tough, but because you use the information over and over, for some reason over the course of the next few weeks you actually get better at this stuff. So don't get frustrated if you've been missing questions and having issues getting it. Sometimes these things just kind of just end up in your memory or in your skill set because you've been using algebra every day. This one here is dealing with equations, and it's titled is means equals, and the reason is because if you see the word is in a problem, then it typically means equals. Now that we understand how to translate verbal expressions, we can now begin to translate verbal equations. The difference between an expression and an equation is that the first four letters of equation, EQUA, looks like the word equal, EQUA. So expression means it doesn't have an equal sign. Equation means it does have an equal sign. That is the difference between an expression and an equation. An expression is 2x plus 4. An expression is x plus 5. An equation is 2x plus 4 equals x plus 5 because that equal sign makes it an equation. Without this equal sign, this is just an expression, this is just an expression. Once you put the equal sign in, it becomes an equation. As long as you have a solid understanding of translating expressions, which you should at this point, it should not be very difficult to adjust the information. Just remember that when you see the word is, it translates into an equal sign. I do this, again, using the format that we've been doing, or using by circling the word is so that I can separate it into two sides. So look at some examples here with me. I see 3, which I know to underline, less, which is just less, not less than, a number, which is an unknown amount. Once I see the word is, I circle it, and then I see the number 8. Again, this is something new, but it's not as bad as what you think. Here, it just tells me to turn this into an equal sign, because is means equals. 3 less a number. Remember, this is a basic because it's not a two-word phrase. It means 3 minus x is, which means equals, and on the other side, the only thing after is 8. That is your equation, and that is all there is to it. As long as you know how to simplify this expression or translate it into an expression, you're just doing two expressions, putting an equal sign in between the two expressions and going on from there. Again, it's not tough, it's just something you got to make sure you're ready for. 32 is a number, is, I circle. 5 is a number, less than is an operation phrase. Twice is also an operation phrase, if I remember. A number is an unknown amount. So we have an equal sign here. 32 is on the left side of it, so we'll put 32 here. And then we notice that we have two operation phrases. This is kind of what we did in our most recent video before this one. Less than means subtract. Twice means multiply by 2. So again, multiplication, subtraction. This one gets first priority. So looking at this phrase, twice a number. Twice a number actually means 2x. So that works, which means we translate that to be 2x. And then we go back. Again, is not part of this. It's everything after that. 5 less than 2x. 5 less than, which means subtract 2x. Keep in mind that is a two-word phrase. That's not less. This is less than. Less than means reverse the order. So because of that, remember 5 is going to go last, which means that 2x gets the first call minus 5. And so 32 is 5 less than twice the number. That is how you will substitute, or how you will translate that. Alright. So again, as long as you have done your job in terms of learning the phrases, kind of getting used to fighting through the tough problems, I don't think this is hard. I think it's just more time consuming. And just remember that anytime something is time consuming in math, just slow down, and that's the only thing that they're really expecting you to do is rush to miss it. Here again, reading it, the quotient of 2 in a number is 17. Quotient is an operation phrase. 2 is an amount. A number is an amount. Is, it means equals, and then 17 is also an amount. Equal sign goes here because that's what is means. Quotient of 2 and a number. Quotient is a basic division word. Remember, that's the weird word. 2 goes first, which means, and because it's division, we don't use the division sign. We'll actually put 2 over x is 17. And that is how you work it out. Again, this is your whole first side. This is your whole second side, and what separates it is the word is, because is means equals. 6 times the sum of a number and 1 is 8. 6 is an amount, times is an operation word. Notice how our formatting helps us to kind of visualize it. Sum, which means add a number, 1 is 8. Starting off on this side, we know this means equals. 6 times the sum of a number and 1 is 8. 2 operation words over here, which is why it's good to circle or box them. Times and sum. Again, the stronger one is times, so check to see if this makes sense. 6 times the sum, which it doesn't make sense because, again, 6 times the sum usually means we're not going to use times. We're going to use the sum of a number and 1, which is x plus 1. Again, the sum, which means add. A number first is x, 1 is second. Means we are doing 6 times x plus 1. Remember, I told you the way you do that is to put 6 in parentheses x plus 1. Is means equals, and the only thing after is 8. So 6 parentheses x plus 1 equals 8 is what you would turn that into. 10 is 4 more than 3 divided by a number. 10 as an amount. Is, I circle because that means equals. 4 is an amount. More than is an operation phrase. 3 is an amount. Divided by is also an operation phrase. A number is an unknown amount, but it is an amount. Is your equal sign. In front of is just 10. So we put 10 equals. Now we focus on the back side of this. We have more than, which is plus, divided by, which is, of course, division. That gets first priority because, remember, division is stronger than addition and subtraction. So does the phrase 3 divided by a number make sense? Yes, it does. It's actually 3 over x. If you remember, because 3 went first, it goes on top. A number was second, so x goes on the bottom. 4 more than 3 over x. Yes, this is add, but remember from our work that had an asterisk by it, which means that 4 actually isn't first, it goes last, which means 3 over x is first, plus, because that's what more than means, 4. And notice we didn't put all of this into one big problem. We simply worked out the left side only, and then we worked out the right side only. And that is what I mean by, as long as you know how to translate the phrases, you should be okay. Just make sure you pay attention to where the equal sign is by underlining the word is, or circling the word is, and just immediately turn it into an equal sign and using that sketch to kind of help you out. The key habits that I use to ensure no silly mistakes, again, is to box or put a rectangle around all the operation words. Circle the word is. That gives you an opportunity to start to organize the information before you just dive in and kind of hope that everything is right. Again, remember that multiplication and division words take priority. The way I explain that is that you learned addition and subtraction first because you were younger and they are easier and weaker. You learn multiplication and division second because they are stronger and more difficult than addition and subtraction, so therefore they have a first priority. If those words don't make sense, then you're going to use addition or subtraction first. Again, the phrases you're looking for is 6 times the sum or the quotient of 2 and the difference. Things like that don't make sense. It means that you're not going to use it first. Other than that, again, just be sure to practice to adjust to your own mistakes. You do that better than anybody because you know what mistakes you make. I still believe, again, that the key to success is failure. So if you've been messing up a lot, that's not a bad thing. It's actually going to make you better in the long run, as long as you consciously try not to make the same mistakes over and over. So again, just work through this stuff. Be brave, be courageous, be persistent. Don't give up. You will get it at some point. Just keep fighting through the information and everything will work out. Okay? So that concludes your experience with variables and variables and expressions. So good luck. I hope this helped.